Sometimes we get maybe close to 100 feet damage, the front and the back.
The first thing that comes to mind is 100 years of misuse. And so when we talk about restoration and rehabilitation, we want to grow fish, but it's kind of like, how do you do that given all of these environmental pilitia? So that's my number one problem. Number two problem is probably all the permitting and those kinds of constraints.
Predators. Human predators.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're whacking your pond.
Just the other day. Maybe 2 nights ago. They will steal some oil. I'm trying to grow mermaids too.
Well, people need to know that this thing, if we gotta take care of this fish pond in order to take care of the people. My dream going to be take care of all kupunas, because they like eat salmon crab, they like eat mullet. So what, about a year or so ago, you know, I went pull that off, you know, I told all our board members that I like do that, you know, and then finally we got some fish from right in this pond, Kolohoele, and salmon crabs, and we're on big cookout at the kind on Ali'i Fish Pond. You know,
for us, we become a bridge to utilize ancient knowledge and modern knowledge of aquaculture and blend them together, you know, and, you know, educate today's generation, because they'll be the innovators of tomorrow and the ones to malama these places.
Even if you're not Hawaiian and whatever, coming to a fish pond like this, you get connected to what is, you know, Hawaiian. Hawaiian people were akamai, and that's what makes me proud to know that, well, this is my kupuna's doings right here. You know, they never need science book. They never need one science teacher telling them, you know, what to stock the pond with, how to stock the pond with. They knew these things. So I would tell the people my age, get involved, learn. You know, instead of sitting around and grumbling, get involved and you know, feel the things that we feel that keeps bringing us back time after time.
We cannot grow hundreds and thousands of pounds of fish in the pond and make it profitable, but that's not the end goal. The end goal is to grow something to feed some of us and not all of us. They're just waiting for us, the ponds, to kind of be reinvigorated, yeah, reawakened. They're still here. Our kupuna built things to last for a reason, and I think that's what we gotta do.
You know, the fish pond is an important educational resource for the students up at Windward Community College. We have a program called the Pacific Center for Environmental Studies, which has as its major theme ahupua'a, and there are a number of courses that utilize the fish pond as a resource.
As a tool for education and increasing stewardship skills, the fish ponds are unsurpassed. They're very, very important to educational tool, and for that reason alone is one of the reasons they should be maintained.
To restore the culture, the Hawaiian culture, and to do what they did back then to raise fish for the Hawaiian people and even for the people today. So they come learn how the Hawaiians fish, how they build a wall, how they figure out on the currents flowing in and out.
So I think, you know, the concept of the ahupua'a, the concept of Hawaiian land management, and the fish pond in the context of that Hawaiian land management system was very, very important in answering the question of sustainability.
Right now there's a big focus now in the sustainability. Our nation is now a net importer, so we are now dependent on somebody else to produce our own food. Hawaii is even worse. We're 85% dependent on imports for food, 90% on energy. And those kind of things we have to change, and that's why the ahupua'a and the fish pond is part of it, is one of the key educational tools, because they were self-sustaining.
If we really love the land, then we're not going to rape it, we're not going to take advantage of it, and we're going to look for ways like our ancestors did to look for a good symbiotic, balanced relationship.
Because we're different, you know? Hawaiian waters is different than, you know, places like Alaska and places where you have upwellings of lots and lots of nutrients. We're pretty much a desert. If you go offshore, you know, so many miles out, You know, the coastal waters around the state are kind of desert-like, not many nutrients. So the magic happens where the freshwater meets the kai, the muliwai, in our brackish estuarine habitat. And I think that's what our kupuna saw.
And STEM is basically a holistic approach of teaching, because it's not just enough to just learn about chemistry, not just good enough to learn about math. You have to learn about all of the components or biology. You have to learn how all of them work together in a holistic fashion, and that's when the fish pond rises in eminence, because you have to understand how it works. You have to take Mauka to Makai all into consideration, because that's how it works, how it is interdependent on each other. And again, that's the part that is, as a tool, a learning tool, is unsurpassed.
The main thing to me is just to build the community so we're stronger as one ohana. All of us, you know, so can run this valley, you know, get so much riches, yeah. So that's my goal.
Those are where the fish pond now becomes a very, very important example. Fish pond micronutrients for plants, for example, are coming from Mauka. I mean, they're dissolved in the fresh water coming down. So we have to find ways in which we can look at how we can get those micronutrients with things that are grown here. Right now, so we're so lazy right now. We just go to BI, buy the fertilizer, and be done with it. But try and live where, we can't do that anymore. So we now have to learn how did ancients used to do that. So if you take a step back and look at the systems that they designed, that's why the ahupua'a now becomes very, very important, because they had constructed this very, very sophisticated agricultural complex to achieve just what we're trying to do now. And how they did that is what we're trying to learn once more. We need to find the fish pond will have a place in a certain niche inside the whole aquaculture development. It's not going to take the whole aquaculture industry, but it will have a place in it, that's for sure.
You know, our forefathers were amazing engineers and you know, kind of stewards of the land, and it's really worth every effort to try to preserve the fish ponds.
And so the more we go forward, I think the more we go backwards in terms of looking for those answers. And the ponds are the key. I think the ponds in the last 16 years have become something of a catalyst for people to understand that connection to traditional knowledge. I really believe that we do have something to offer the world that is very unique to Hawaii, and that is Aloha Aina.